Alrighty, guys, we are here for the data download, which is going to have LR Cell Max, a fantastic Super Bosses buff, and then we're also going to have a World Tournament. I believe the World Tournament is next weekend. Going to definitely be a pretty big pain to have to do a World Tournament, but we do have a lot of new characters here. So we have the Chi-Chi, Gohan, and Vegito are the three EZAs from the regular pool of reward cards. Tien, Forearm Tien is the Dragon Ball Saga EZA. And then we have the Kale and Khalifa. I mean, what's funny about this is, like, this banner, like, these Dragon Ball Saga characters are just so fodder. Because it's like, I've grinded World Tournament, you know, top 1,000, top 500, top 100, you know, for 7 years straight on my account. And I never inboed this guy. Like, it's so crazy to think about. I don't know why. You can easily acquire these characters now, right? With the Mr. Satan signatures. But you can't with the Dragon Ball Saga characters. It just doesn't make any sense. So weird. Okay, so we can take a look what we got here. So we have all this. There is also new quest mode stages. I'll probably do a video in a little bit. We'll kind of see if there's going to be anything important from the quest mode stages there. All right, so I guess let's just take a look at a couple of these characters. We'll start with Cell Max. We'll just discuss Cell Max, and then we'll get into the rest of the characters. Remember, Kale and Khalifa are awakenings, by the way. Yeah, they're just like regular Dokkan awakenings. All right, so LR Cell Max. I've actually seen a lot of debate about this guy and stuff like that. People saying, "Oh well, actually," and then they push their glasses up and they go, he's not actually that strong defensively. actually, he's not that crazy. And it's like, listen, when we go into a lot of these tough fights, right? If we're fighting Gogeta, the Tech Super Saiyan Gogeta, I think he should be able to get some damage in on Cell Max, right? But a lot of these, I mean, here's the thing about Cell Max. You guys know that Beast Gohan is the best unit in Dokkan history, best unit by far, best unit ever. I mean, a lot of these things, it's very important to be super good right away. And that's exactly what Cell Max is going to be able to be. And it's like, in a lot of these fights, when you get to the really scary boss who will torch Cell Max, you're going to have his active, which gives him 999% defense. And gives him a target mechanic. Like, you can use that in turn 4. Like, here's the thing. I don't see how Gogeta is going to be better than Cell Max. Carnival LR Gogeta. I don't see how he's going to be better than Cell Max. He is the best Rainbow Orb changer in the game. Like, if there's an argument to be had, it's with that. But, like, base Gogeta, I mean, like, he's very mid. You know, base Gogeta, like, him and base Broly, like, they get crushed all over the place. I don't think that's going to be happening with Cell Max, who's going to be guarding with damage reduction with way higher start of turn defense. Like, Cell Max is going to be a tank at the start of these fights, and you're just going to be able to go right into his target mechanic, his taunt mechanic. This is the difference. Gogeta has it as well. His is way deeper. And I do feel like when you're using a lot of these good teams, most of these fights aren't as long as people think they are. Sometimes, like, the Supreme Battle Spectacle Beast Gohan fight, I guess sometimes could go a bit long because you do 0 damage to him so much. But he doesn't hit as hard as the top level bosses to compensate for his kind of beast armor. And also the fact that he locks, right? So they did not give him a 3 million damage super, because, I mean, he would definitely be the hardest fight in the game if he had that. Like, he would be a terror. But, like, you know, so, like, Cell Max is going to be fine against Beast even without his active. Like, I mean, he's designed to crush that's the whole point of this character, right? And again, he's an artificial life form leader. Like, that mission went from being, like, scary tough to now just, like, complete fodder with some of the crazy characters they brought. But Cell Max being able to just easily do his target taunt on turn 4, like it's once you get, okay, his intro will wear off, and most of the time, like, I do think you'll be able to get away with a turn where you don't have his intro up and you don't have his active up. And then the following turn, you would probably be at whatever the big boss is. Remember, we're going to be running this guy on super bosses. Super bosses now, I mean, with Broly and Rose, Super Easy Goku Black, a lot of these characters, like, super bosses could do a lot of damage very quickly. So I just don't really. It's one of those things where people will do this. Oh, in theory, this character could get absolutely obliterated. People do that with Beast all the time, but guess what? It just doesn't happen. It's one of those things where it's like, yeah, like in theory, every character could get killed, right? Like, you know, Gogeta could just not dodge. The Gammas could just not get orbs, or they could get crushed early on when they're not really that impressive. UI could just not dodge, right? Like, there's a lot of different things you could say with a lot of these different characters. I just don't believe that Cell Max, like if you're using him and your intention is not just to bait for attention, I think it's probably going to be pretty difficult to die with him. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we'll, you know, because I mean, we just go through a lot of the fights. STR Trunks is not going to be sunning this guy. EGL Ultimate Gohan, I don't think is going to be sunning this guy. Who else? Tech Gogeta, I think could. Tech Gogeta, because his damage is quite a bit higher. Although I guess Ultimate Gohan is going to be type disadvantage and class disadvantage for the Cell Max. So like a turn where he doesn't have his intro or his active against that Ultimate Gohan. Maybe that would be a scary turn, actually. Because Ultimate Gohan, his damage is, I think it's just a little bit lower than what like Fusion Zamasu is doing. But the point is, I don't think Cell Max is going to be getting cucked the way people think he's going to. And his easy taunt mechanic is going to be huge. Because with perfect RNG, you could use Gogetas on turn 6. But again, that's literally perfect RNG, where you have to immediately float him off, and then you transform, right? Like, it's like if you don't start him out in turn 1 or something like that, it's going to be iffy. Whereas like Cell Max, it's just always turn 4 from the start of battle, right? Remember, Gogeta, it's not something that affects him as badly as Vegito and Broly and Future Gohan and Fusion Zamasu, but Gogeta does have the same thing in him, that shit mechanic, which is not start of battle, but start of turn for Gogeta. Yeah. You know, any character that has that is just frustrating. It's frustrating because what it means is you can get cucked by RNG. That's what that means. When it's just start a battle, it doesn't matter as much where they start out. But if this guy starts in slot 7, you know, you're not seeing the target mechanic with him, right? Whereas that's not going to be a problem with Cell Max, and that's like the difference. And that's as high as I'll argue Cell Max without you really using him is 4 above Gogeta. I don't know about above UI and Evolution Blue Vegeta. They're too tight. Their kits, how effective they are. Likewise, it is pretty tough for Vegeta or UI to get killed unless you're intentionally trying to get them killed. I found that with both of them. I mean, UI could just not dodge in like slot 2 or slot 3 or something like that, sure. But like, you know, even Vegeta, it is pretty tough for Vegeta to die. So, like, Cell Max seems to be one of those characters where it's going to be very hard for him to die. But we'll see. I could be wrong. Again, I'm not going to go super hard on it until I use him. So we have Tien here. Let's go ahead and take a look at what our boy Tien is doing. He does not have a big passive. This is his EZA passive. Always. Okay, so he has 2 guaranteed additionals that have a 50% chance to super. Every time he does 4 attacks, he gets an additional super. If there is a Turtle School category enemy, he gets an additional super. And then the attack of the... he reduces the attack of the attacked enemy by 20% for 2 turns. 40% attack and defense for each ally in the youth category. He's not on youth. What? No, wait. No. That's... No. That's Dragon Ball Saga. Yeah, it's Dragon Ball. Okay. Because like the translation it would give us for the youth category, it would say boys and girls is the okay. It's Dragon Ball Saga, so it's 40% attack and defense for each ally in Dragon Ball Saga. He gets 50% for 9 turns, huh? Huh. So if we're fighting a Turtle School enemy, he gets a guaranteed additional. And then let's say these both proc. So he has 4 supers. Hidden potential 5 super. Then we get this 6 super. I mean, I'm at this one. I'm gonna have to see him actually doing it, but I mean this is big time super attack effect. Considering he could start out with 6 super attacks turn 1, if then he does 5 or 4 on turn 2 as well, what happens then? I'd be very curious to see what his stats are looking like. Obviously, teams and links and stuff are going to be very, very brutal. I mean, I don't think this guy's going to be exceptional, but I mean, he could be maybe a fun little gimmick character. All right, so we have Vegito. Vegito, I'm predicting, is going to be completely dead because he's got slot 1 shit, which is just not going to work with a free-to-play character. Let's see. 150% attack and defense. First in rotation, he gets Suki, 150% attack and defense, and a high chance. Oh, no, he has a 70% chance to dodge. Very high is 70%. So he has 70% dodge. When there's an enemy from the Boo Saga category, gets a guaranteed additional super. 30% attack and defense for all super class allies. And then an extra 3% attack and defense for each ally in the Boo Saga category on the team. Okay, being like, all right, he's good for the Boo Saga team. I don't have a problem with that. Because he's a free-to-play character. They could have made this maybe a little bit better. Well, this is not slot restricted. Then he gets 50% attack when attacking. Every time he attacks, he gets defense. It's better than getting hit. Yeah. So 5 attacks, he gets built-up defense. He does a guaranteed additional with a high chance to super. So, I mean, that's what, 21%? So if you're running full Boo Saga. So he's 51% attack and defense for superclass allies. So I'm thinking about him for, like, EGL Super Saiyan 3 Goku's team and, Ultimate Gohan. Their Boo Saga team. I don't hate him. He's got stuff, right? He's got stuff. 70% dodge. I just, like, that's the thing. Like, understand, this is a free-to-play character, man. Like, he is 70% dodge, and we can give him, hidden potential system 25+ dodge, sure, but what's his super attack effect? 30% attack, supreme allies attack by no defense, huh? Yeah, they're like, yeah, please, just dodge. That's it. He's at least got stuff. I don't mind restricting him to the Boo Saga team, but, I mean, we would have needed... you know what I think they should have done? Here's what they should have did. Okay, so slot 1, he has this. Okay. And then you have this. And then also, an extra line right here. If you're on a full Boo Saga team, he gets a 50% chance to dodge. So he would have a 70% chance to dodge in slot 1. And then if you're on a full Boo Saga team, if the 70% dodge fails, then you'd have a 50% chance to dodge. That is what they should have did. That would have been good. Right. That would have been effective. I mean, I don't know that that's just enough. We'll see. He's at least providing value, though. Like, there is a reason to run him. Okay. Yeah, base Vegito has no teams. Look at this. Boo Saga, Patara, Fusion Fighter, Final Trump Card, Battle of Wits. Base Vegito has 5 categories. That's so crazy to think about. That's nuts. All right, Android Cell Saga Gohan here. This named character, this is Gohan Youth, I believe. There's, like, nothing. A BoJack movie Gohan, base Gohan, would have the same name. I think a BoJack movie Gohan would make for maybe Tanabata or, like, a Great Dokkan Fest or something like that. I think could happen. So he gets 3 key, 100% attack and defense. 100% attack and defense on super attack. Okay, looks good. 100% attack for 3 turns after getting hit. Okay. All allies in the Android Cell Saga get 2 key, 30% attack and defense. And then an extra 3% attack and defense for each ally or each superclass ally in the team. Okay. When there's 2 or less enemies, he gets 58% chance to crit. When there's 3 or more enemies, the attacking enemy's super will be sealed for 2 turns. Oh. If there's 3 or more enemies, the enemy, like, he'll seal the enemy for 2 turns when he hits them. So it could be usable for, like, Super Battle Road. Guard. If there's another bond, a master, and a disciple ally in the turn. Oh, huh, He's got this as well. This is big. 50% attack units for 6 turns. Supreme. 100% defense, 100% right there. He's going to have this. Damn, get rid of this crit and give him something else. Just maybe like an extra 2 or less enemies, give him like an extra 150% defense or something like that. I mean, obviously there's better things they could do, but it's still a World Tournament free-to-play character. I mean, you could probably get away with running him. At least, remember, him, so like a free-to-play character guarding, this is not guarding to live supers, this is guarding to survive normals in today's meta. Right, with him guarding, maybe he could deal a little bit better against some of these bosses' normal attacks. He does have All in the Family. Saiyan Warrior Race, Saiyan Lineage, Z Fighters, Gaze of Respect, Shocking Speed, Shocking Limit. Okay. I'm not hating these characters. They're not the greatest, probably not as good as they should be. I mean, they're not comparing to Mr. Goat, Mr. Boo, but like, these are not losers. Like, these are characters that have got some stuff there. They're not, legendary, oh my god, but they're not, again, complete fodder. All right, so we have Chi-Chi here. 150% attack and defense. Reduce the attack and defense of the attacked enemy by 22% for 3 turns. Okay, maybe she could be an option for Kid Buu. Or, obviously, Super Battle Road, Battlefield, stuff like that. Yeah, Battlefield, she could be good for Metal Cooler. 30% chance to dodge. Okay, that's something. If HP is 50% or above, she gets 3 key. 150% attack and defense. HP is below 49%, 50% attack. And she's going to jump up to 70% dodge. If there's a Goku in their name, is an enemy or ally, she's super effective against all types, and a high chance of an additional super. So if there's a Goku in the rotation or a Goku enemy, she's super effective against all types and a high chance of an additional super. She has 2 guaranteed additionals, but they can't be supers. Well, okay, that's bad for Kid Buu. Oh, okay, well, 150% defense when attacking. Every time she attacks 5 or more times, she gets a guaranteed super. Huh. 30% attack, Supreme, high chance of stun. No, we can't do defense, man. Damn, that sucks. Oh no, she can do so many attacks. We're so scared of her free-to-play defense. Oh my god. Free-to-play Chi-Chi's defense. She's a defensive tank. Bro, just give her defense, man. Come on. I mean, again, there's at least stuff here. Like, like, for these characters, like, can you find a reason to bring them? Yes. I mean, more so, not really Tien as much. Tien's a little gimmick, because Tien's not really bringing anything besides just attacking a lot. But, like, Vegito is supporting with dodge. Gohan is supporting with guard. Chi-Chi has the dodge and the debuffs. So, again, they're, at least, we see, like, that they're doing some stuff. I'm not super sure. I mean, I do think Chi-Chi could be competitive against Battlefield Metal Cooler, for sure. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right? I mean, because look at her. Look at her for Battlefield Metal Cooler. Actually, just thinking of how effective she'll be in there, I think she's probably the best of the batch, actually. Because, okay, so we'll have this. Attacked enemy. So Metal Cooler still needs to not dodge that. But it's just attacked enemy. She has all these hits. Chances are not good that he's going to dodge everything. I mean, I did earlier do a run against Metal Cooler. He dodged 4 consecutive super attacks of me. And I've got it on camera, so no one can call me a liar. It is easy to just, do Battlefield Metal Cooler so easy. You stun him and shit, dude. Duh, you idiot. But then he just dodges every fucking attack you do. Like, he does it. Like, it's a thing that happens. But Chi-Chi, at least, her debuff right? Like, she's going to have this. If we're running Peppy Gals, we're not going to have this up. But then you still have these as well. And then you get the hidden potential system, too. But she's also got the stun for cooler, too. So she has a debuff and a stun. That's pretty good. I think Chi-Chi's probably the best of these characters because I think she's going to have the good value against Metal Cooler, which is going to be a frustrating boss for a lot of people. Gohan and Vegito, to me, have a little bit of value. I don't mind. I think they should have restricted Gohan and Vegito heavier to these categories, right? To Buu Saga and Android Cell Saga, and then made them a little bit better. I mean, and I think we would have been looking good there. Okay, so there's that. Chi-Chi. Oh, yeah, we have Kale and Caulifla as well, our Super Bosses characters here. All right, so Caulifla. Okay, so she stacks attack and defense, supreme damage, and lowers enemy attack. Pretty good. 100% attack and defense. For each Universe 6 category ally in the team, 20% attack and defense, and 6% chance to crit. If there's a Kale on rotation, she gets 160% attack. I don't care about the attack. Okay. 70% chance to dodge, and a guaranteed super. Every time she dodges, she gets 20% attack and evens up to 60%. If Caulifla attacks 6 times, she gets an additional from that turn onwards. It has a 50% chance to be a super. And she's stacking. Oh. You know, damn, man. If only... Like, if we just run Kefla Universe 6, how effective could that be? I don't... Dokkan Fest Kale is a little... I think we could run 1 Dokkan Fest Kale and I'd be okay with it, but 2? I don't... I mean, she just... I mean, Kale is still... I don't know. If only Universe 6 had just, like, a very, 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 very top-level character. Like a top 5 contender, a top 10 contender. If Universe 6 just had that. Because, like, this is pretty... I mean, this seems pretty good for a free-to-play character. And, I mean, the Kales... Like, STR Kale is pretty good. I mean, I guess Dokkan Fest Kale, maybe I'm underselling her a little bit. I just see her take out... She gets hit very hard, man. I mean, you know, they needed a Caulifla. This seems like a solid Caulifla. She is stacking. Right, we'll see what her stats look like when she's in game. And then we have the Kale as well. Kale gets 160% attack and even start a turn. All Universe 6 allies get 1 key, 40% attack and defense. Oh, wow. Another 20% attack and defense for Pure Saiyan. Okay, one thing to keep in mind, looks like this is just its own separate buff. A lot of characters, like Int Pan, right? I mean, here, I could just pull this up real fast. So Int Pan is one that comes to mind. Let me just pull up her kit here. So Pan gives superhero allies support, specifically them. But then if they're also another category, they get extra support. But they still got to be superhero first. Kale will be buffing Pure Saiyan characters even if they're not Universe 6. So that's good. So she's going to give 60% attack and defense to Kale and Caulifla cards. Cat A cards. When a character with Caulifla is in the turn, 160% defense, 70% chance to guard. Oof. And guaranteed additional super. 70% chance to guard, huh? Oh boy. And then she gets 60% attack and events on super. And then if she attacks 6 or more times, she gets a guaranteed additional with a high chance of it being a super, 50% chance to be a super. And then she stacks attack and defense, supreme, and then lowers enemy defense. I mean, man, listen. I mean, you know, we could just get lucky and she could guard. Damn it, dude. At 70% dodge is so supreme compared to 70% guard, but they're like decent. I do want to look at these characters under the lens of these are free to play world tournament cards. I feel like a lot of them have got stuff here. Like they could have, done way worse than what they did. Okay. Like if this Kale is the 6th unit on the team. Remember, these are Super Boss's characters as well, Kale and Caulifla. I'm not gonna be running them Super Bosses, but you could. We got a bunch of missions in here as well. So we got World Tournament. There's EX missions for Stage 1 of Cell Max. So beat it with a full Super Class team, no items. Okay. Beat it with a full Extreme Class team, no items. Clear it in 3 turns with no items. Oh, is Cell Max really that much of a bitch now? Because he's a 3-phase fight, so you have to 1 turn. So you'd have to 1 turn tech Cell Max. What's his HP? Oh, there's boost characters. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Beast is gonna like 1-shot. Oh, yeah, okay. 60 million. But he's got, yeah, okay. There's boost characters. That's what it is. Oh, yeah, so these are going to be very easy. 5 turns using 6 characters of 8. Full AGL team. 5. Oh, this could be tough for people. 5 turns, no items, AGL team. Win with a corroded body and mind team. These are going to be annoying for people. Oh, yeah, I think they'll be annoying for people. Corroded body and mind against Cell Max. All right, sure. I mean, if you got the rosés and stuff, yeah, but... I mean, it is still 4 characters, so... I mean, maybe we run Broly, get the 4 corroded body and mind characters, and then our 6 characters Beast. That's probably what I'll do. Remember, all these are without support items. So, kids, I see a lot of people say they hate support memories. They don't even grind them. They don't mess with them. Remember that, I mean, you can use support memories for these no-item missions, right? So, I mean, I don't know. I just talked about, well, I mean, corroded body and mind... there is a corroded body in mind one. Is it Majin and Vegeta? It's Majin and Vegeta, right? But it's only for a couple of turns, huh? Yeah, see, that's no good. Because by the time you get to the tough phase of the fight, this is worn out. So, I don't know that corroded body in mind has, like, a support memory that's going to help you a ton. I mean, you could certainly do, the Bulma support memory, which will heal you and stuff like that. Oh, wait, this one. Oh, nah, that Cell Max is immune to buffs, though. Or he's immune to debuffs, isn't he? That Cell Max? Yeah, I don't know. But again, these support memories are big for these submissions. Just regular missions. Nothing crazy here. Super Boss. Yeah, use Super Boss and stuff like that. Okay. We got, like, these kind of tickets here. There's a new intensifying fight stage against UI Goku. Okay. They want you to use Super Bosses. Okay. And there's some Legendary Freeze event missions as well. Universal Survival Saga. This is Space Traveling Warriors. And Universe 6 against the Legendary Freeze event. Okay, I mean, that could be fun. I could try out the World Tournament characters there, for sure. Nice. Yeah, these start after the World Tournament, too, which is the World Tournament's next weekend. Okay. Then we have Super Battle Road stage, Extreme Super Battle Road stage, and then we have an Infinite Dragon Ball History stage. Looks like it's a superhero. Yeah, it's superhero characters. Because Pan, Krillin and 18, Trunks and Goten, Gamma 1 and 2, Orange Piccolo, and then Cell Max. Okay. So, superhero Dragon Ball History Stage. Okay. I believe that pretty much covers everything here. Seems like a pretty good day to download. We got Cell Max, a lot of other stuff. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch you guys next time.